Your child comes to you with two things they genuinely need, not two toys, not a toy and a snack, two real competing needs, and you do not have enough money right now to cover both. What do? What does your child do? This is the money moment most parenting advice completely skips. Every basic money lesson teaches needs versus wants. That is a great starting point. But life does not stay that simple for long. Sooner or later, every family faces a moment where the money is genuinely too short to cover everything important, and your child is watching how you handle it. Here's the good news. Research from child development tells us that children can begin forming real opinions about spending and saving as early as age 5. And by around age 12, their understanding of economic situations is broadly comparable to that of adults. The capacity is there. We just need to give them the practice. The family is where most of that practice happens. A peer-reviewed review published in Frontiers in Education found that parental involvement significantly shapes how children manage money and make decisions. You are not just their parent. You are their primary financial teacher, whether you realize it or not. So today we're going one step further than needs versus wants. We're going to walk through a simple ranking method any parent can use. No special tools, no spreadsheet, just a conversation and whatever money is actually in front of you. Step 1. Name the scarcity out loud. Before you rank anything, establish together that there is not enough money right now to cover everything on the list. Say it plainly, we have this much. It is not enough for everything. So we need to choose. Write the total amount down so your child can see the number. Make the limit real and visible. For younger children, roughly under 7, keep it to just 2 items at a time. Child development research tells us that at this age, children typically focus on one aspect of a problem at a time. Comparing 2 things is plenty. You might say, we need new shoes and we want to fix the bicycle. Which one do we need more right now? That is the whole exercise for a 5-year-old. For children 8 and older, you can expand the list. Write down every spending item together, everything competing for that limited pot. 3 items for even 5. Then ask 1 question per item. If we could only do one thing on this entire list, would it be this one? Work through each item together until you have an order. Let your child lead the ranking. Your job is to ask the questions, not to hand them the answers. Once you have a ranked list, draw a line. Everything above the line gets funded now. Everything below the line has to wait. And here is where the real lesson lives. Point to the item just below that line, the one that almost made it, and say, this is what we're giving up for now, so we can cover the things above it. Let that land. Let your child feel the reality of that trade, not just hear about it as an abstract idea. That feeling has a name: opportunity cost. Every choice closes a door on something else. Economists consider this one of the most foundational concepts in financial understanding, and it is absolutely appropriate to introduce to children. You do not need to use the technical term with a 7-year-old. But the feeling, we chose this so that waits, that is the lesson that sticks. Whenever you can, use real money. Actual coins or notes in a child's hand, even small amounts, are far more effective than a hypothetical example on paper. The evidence is consistent. Hands-on experience with money, calibrated to a child's stage of development, is what builds lasting financial habits. A worksheet about choosing is not the same as actually choosing. Here is something easy to forget. You do not have to manufacture a lesson. When you face a real household trade-off, fixing something in a home, choosing between 2 family expenses, narrate your thinking out loud. Say, I have to decide between these 2 things and I cannot do both right now. I'm going to prioritize the first one because it affects our daily routine. Your child absorbs that. Research consistently shows that children learn financial habits substantially by observing the adults around them. Once the ranked list exists, revisit it. When a little more money becomes available, go back to that list together and let your child decide what moves up. This one small habit teaches something profound. Prioritization is not a one-time fix. It is an ongoing skill. Life keeps presenting new trade-offs. The goal is a child who knows how to work through them calmly, not a child who has memorized one right answer. And when your child thinks carefully about competing options, when they pause, consider, and make a deliberate choice, celebrate that process. Not just the outcome, not just whether they picked the right thing. The habit of thinking carefully before spending is worth more in the long run than any single correct decision. PISA research across 14 countries found that students who regularly discuss saving and spending decisions with their parents are measurably more financially literate. Those same students are more likely to save and more likely to compare options before spending. The conversation you have tonight matters. It adds up over months and years into something real. Here is what to do today. At dinner tonight or before bed, bring out a small amount of money, whatever you have to hand, and name 2 things it could go towards. Ask your child, if we can only do one, which one matters more right now? Listen, ask why. Then, together, name what you're giving up. That is the whole lesson. 1 conversation, 2 competing needs, 1 deliberate choice. Start there. If this was useful, subscribing means you will not miss the next video. Every week on Little Money Habits, we bring you 1 practical idea you can use with your child today. No jargon, no lectures, just real tools for raising a child who understands money.